Alright, hi everybody, this is Mike from the Used Gamers, and welcome to the next episode of my playthrough of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. So we just reached the town, or city, I should say, of Neketaka in the last episode. Haven't really gotten much of a chance to explore it, so we'll try to do a little bit more of that in this episode. As I said in the last one, this place is huge, there's tons of stuff to do, so we'll see how much we get around to. We just talked to this captain here who we're trying to get some money from, and she said basically she got mugged by a crew, so a gang, so we're going to head out to deal with those guys. But first I want to finish searching the tavern here, see if there are any other quest givers. So a young woman lingers near the stage with a mug of ale clutched tight in her hands. Though she shows no interest in the dancers, the bags beneath her eyes speak to many long nights spent drinking in the tavern. She looks lazily about the room until her gaze alights on you with interest.
Hey. You're the captain with the ancient Adiran elf on your crew, right?
What's it to you?
That rat-fink son of a goat-kisser owes me a fair heap of coin. And his debt's your responsibility now, Captain.
How much are we talking about?
He's on the hook for 5,000 copper, and I damn well expect to get it. Whether it's off his corpse or yours matters not at all to me.
He's a broke old drunk.
You're his captain. His debts are your responsibility. Pay up, damn you, or taste steel.
I can't help you. Farewell.
You honorless oaf! I hope Elia's flying rats eat your eyes.
Well, that's probably going to come back to be a problem later. Oh, and I did just remember. So I found out that there were some codes given out in some game magazines for some special pets that you can get. This does require you entering command codes, but I did see that it does not affect getting achievements. So you basically just bring up the command prompt, and they're the cosmic pets. So cosmic dog, cosmic cat, and cosmic bird. Alright, so these guys, they're not really necessarily great compared to some of the pets you get later on, but as for starting, they're pretty nice. Comet here gives you a +1 might and a bonus to deflection with enemy weapon attacks, which is pretty nice. Let's see here. Luna gives you dexterity, and enemies are more likely to graze. Orbit gives you perception, and you move a little faster in combat. So I'm going to go with Orbit because I'm just definitely trying to get my perception up, and moving a little faster in combat is certainly not bad to have. So yeah, so if you want to do that, it just gives you cool access to some pets early on. But if you'd rather just play the game basic and not really deal with any what you might consider to be cheats, even though you won't get penalized for it, that's up to you. But figured I'd give them a try out, at the very least. So let's go check upstairs before we head out of the tavern. That also reminds me I need to switch Jyoti back to her crossbow in case we run into any combat in the near future, which, if we're going after a gang, it's probably a good chance that's going to happen. It's obvious that I need to get my Intimidate skill up a little bit higher, although, like I was saying, I did want to maybe build up my alchemy because of, if I start using drugs more with this guy in order to make up for the lack of healing and potions that I can't use, so we'll see.
I found some.
Oh, little hidden object, nice. Make sure it's not stealing. Grab it. Ooh, +15 stride and 1 survival. Not bad. Okay, so let's see. First off, before I forget, switch you over to that. Why do you have a pistol? Okay, so 15% stride and survival. I think I'm going to give it to my barbarian because I want him to be moving around the battlefield pretty quickly. So a bunch of books, which are good just for selling. Okay, so let's check out. Let's see here. Okay, this looks like it has a NPC that we can talk to. Oh, although she has a chest. That
How may I help? I'll see what I
while
can
she's not
find.
here.
Subtle indeed.
Ah, skill too low. Never mind. Okay, well, where did she go? I'll see. Maybe she's a quest giver. Oh, or these might actually just be...
Meet me in my room if you'd like to hear a verse or two.
Okay, so we have to wait for her to go to her room, I guess? A fire godlike woman polishes a pair of stocks, tending to them with the fondness of a mother for her favorite child. The room is dim, illuminated only by the glow of her steel-forged skin. Her eyes burn with the light of Mogren's fire. When she hears you enter, she shoots you a look of utter contempt.
I will give you an experience you won't soon forget.
Let's just go with tell me about yourself.
I must assume the question beneath your question is how a fire godlike came to find herself in a place such as this.
She leans back against a wall of chains that clank and rattle, and she smiles at the sound.
Perseverance. Being as I am, I have been forced to find it for myself. Now I teach it to others. To live in a world as a thinking, feeling creature, it is difficult. It demands strength, but we cannot always be strong. I help those who have lost their strength to find it again.
She wraps a chain around her arm and tugs. The steel links grow red with forge fire where they touch her skin. So I'm sure she would be an interesting evening, but no thanks. Let's just move along. Constant. Steal from your room. What is this? Just clothing. A burly dwarven man hums a jaunty tune to himself as he fastidiously organizes his collection of scented oils. When he hears you enter the room, he greets you with a smile and a humongous outstretched hand. His grip is strong and sure.
Come to seek ablutions for your sins? Ha!
He slaps his knee with a bark of laughter.
Get it? Ablutions? Absolution? Ha! I crack myself up. Gets me every time.
He wipes a tear from his eye, still chuckling.
Massage? Bath? Whatever you need. Just ask.
How'd you end up
Oh,
here?
you don't want to hear about that. I lived a boring life, so there wouldn't be much to the telling.
He crosses his thick arms over his chest. A slight blush spreads across his cheeks.
Truth be told, my real passion is pottery. Trouble is, I got these big hands. Ha! Not meant for delicate work.
He turns his hands palm up for you to inspect. Just one is easily large enough to cover your entire face.
Worked out in the end, of course. Now I specialize in relieving tension in a Mauer and death godlike.
He nods to himself. Let's see, what is his perception? Only 8? That's not really... You seem bored here.
I guess I can't hide my feelings as well as I thought I could.
He gives you a nervous chuckle and scratches at his beard.
The stability's good and all, but I haven't seen anything that gets my blood pumping in ages. You know what I mean?
It's life without a little excitement. You don't know how good you have it. What's life without a little excitement?
Doing the same old thing day in, day out. It's enough to make a man leap from the nearest window.
He nods vigorously. You could come with me.
Where to?
He raises an inquisitive brow, his large hands previously dancing with restless energy, still. You know that 700-foot-tall statue made of Andra? I'm going after it.
No kidding.
He nearly drops a bottle of massage oil in his excitement.
I like to see something like that for myself.
He sighs, a wistful edge in his voice.
Do you think I could come with you? Just for a bit.
Grab your things and let's go.
Hell, you don't have to tell me twice.
So Constantine is the first of the sidekicks that you pick up. So as I mentioned in an earlier episode, sidekicks are basically characters. Oh, well here, look at this. Sidekicks start out as unique NPCs integral to specific quests, complete with their own personalities and looks, and they may offer to join your party as a reward for completing their quest. Just like companions, these new characters have a custom portrait and voice sound set. However, unlike companions, they do not have their own vision quest and will not participate in the companion relationship system. So, there you go. Companions. Or sidekicks. So yeah, so basically he can be about the same as my character. I'm not really that into using sidekicks just because I like the guys that have quests and have like kind of deeper points to them, but it's fun that you can kind of use these guys. So since I'm not really going to be using him, it doesn't really matter. I'll just leave him with Chanter. I'll probably just leave it as it is. I'll just have him there, just off chance if I need him. Alright, so let's see. Doesn't look like there's anything else in this room of note. Okay, well, looks like we can go ahead and head back downstairs and start seeing about, oh, let's head out. I will say, a lot of times if you're looking for pets, if you go into buildings and you see like an exit onto a second floor, which is usually going to be like a balcony or something, there's not usually much out there besides maybe some trash loot, but most of the time you will be able to find a pet out there. So if you're interested in looking for something different, it's a good place to check out. So we'll see what we find out here. But yeah, as of right now, the cosmic pets are working out pretty good. They're like I said, they're really great for the start, but you do start finding a lot better pets. But yeah, it really just kind of depends on what you want to make. Like that one little dragon pet we picked up would have been great if I had a little bit more of a ranged, focused party. But since, especially right now, my party seems to be very heavy on melee to some extent, it's just not really what I need to boost. It's taking forever just to load this balcony. I guess it's because it's loading the whole city too. That's probably what it is. Okay.
Eothas, is there any way you can bring Islamir back? The whole point of suppressing her was to keep her out of my head. I miss her impressions. Oh, if she could do this one of you, which she did over and over. Was real good, though. She could do all your twitching, your squeaky voice when you got nervous.
So, for any of you guys who don't know, Eothas basically has an awoken soul inside of him, which is Islamir. It's a very interesting character who he's very different. He's very controlled and very kind of methodical. I think it's a she. It's a female dwarf, I think is what it is. Is very crass and
Keep your voices down.
doesn't really have a filter. So, but Adair loves to bring her out just to annoy Eothas and hear what she has to say. Okay, these guys sounded like they were up to something, so let's see what's down here.
You want something?
I guess I can't really do anything with them. Oh well. Alright, so let's see. He said that where she got mugged, I think it was back up this way. Yeah, the back alley. So we'll check that out. But first, let's see. We'll check out what's going on in the Luminous Audra Mill.
The Queen is holding court today with the Valians and Rawatayans.
How long before they...
Just to see maybe if there's a quest giver in here or anything. And this is really the thing is, I mean, Neketaka is huge. There's tons of places to explore, tons of, quest givers to get. A lot of the quests are going to be going outside of the city, but there's plenty of them that are inside the city. There's tons and tons of bounties to pick up. So yeah, there's plenty to do in this game, and it's easy to get lost and distracted, as we found out in the last episode. Alright, let's see what we got in here. Rooftop balcony. Oh, here's a named character. Cortina's voice finds you before she does, her barks of laughter and cheerful directives resounding throughout the mill. She flits from worker to worker, offering critique and approval. When she finally spots you, a shadow of apprehension passes over her face. She hides it with a toothy grin.
If you are here about the taxes, tell the Queen... Oh, you are not the tax collector.
She narrows her eyes, her hand twitching the hilt of her blade.
What business brings you to my mill?
What do you do here? Cortina looks about the room with exaggerated wonder, her green eyes wide. She laughs a little to herself and runs a finger across the arm of the chair beside her. She holds the finger up for your inspection. It's caked in shimmering blue dust.
We mill luminous, of course. Take big chunks, break into smaller chunks, crush into dust-sized chunks. Per con plancanet, it is really not so complicated.
Okay.
Good day.
She must be something for maybe later on. All of this, I'm guessing, is probably going to be stealing. Let's take a look over here really fast to see if there's anything. Stealing, stealing, stealing. Okay, well, let's check out the balcony. The one problem, of course, with the balconies is you go out there and, you know, if you don't find anything, then you have to go back through the room to get back to the city. So yeah, see, you can go out here and a lot of times find pets. So what does Abraham do? Reduces recovery penalty for armor. Is not bad at all. 10 health, oh, and 10 health restored per kill. That's actually not a bad setup. Reduces recovery and party-wide effect. The question is how much does he reduce it by? I wonder if I can see. Okay, so that's Abraham, right? So let's see. Right now, my armor recovery is 35. It doesn't show. Sheriff's padded armor 35. Interesting. As far as I can tell, it didn't do anything. Is it just not where you can see it? Well, I mean, if I don't know how much it is, and I don't know if it's actually even doing anything, then I kind of don't really want to bother. I'll just stick with that. Oh, and the guy's leveled up. I'll wait till the rest of the party kind of levels up, because I think they're going to do it soon before I do that. Wait for Eothas and Choti to level up. And take care of them all at once. Although, we probably are about to get in a little bit of a scuffle here, but I don't think anything that I'm going to get in this level up is going to make that big of a difference in it, hopefully. So we'll see. I do want to head to the palace here pretty soon, because that's where I'm going to get the rest of the party members, two of which are going to be replacing party members that I have right now. So, and that will probably be my party that I stick with through most of the game. So yeah, definitely want to get them in the not too distant future. First off, I want to go in here though. Number one, because this guy gives you a quest, which is actually pretty easy. It's just exploring islands, which we've kind of already started doing, and you'll kind of do it as you go through the game. But also, he has an item that is really good to buy early on, and will help you out in a lot of different situations, especially scripted ones. So we'll take a look in here. Okay, so he has a trap. Now, I don't remember... I know with unlocking stuff that's not yours, that's considered stealing, you can get negative reputation or get in trouble, but I don't think you get in trouble for doing traps. Let's try it.
My fingers be fat and furry, but they're ever so nimble.
Says trap, you have gained an item. Okay, yeah, so no negative stuff for doing that. The reason I did is just because you get experience, you also get the trap, so it's never a bad idea to do it. But yeah, if I did try to unlock it, then yes, that would get me in trouble. And I'd probably either get in trouble with him or actually get negative
Welcome
reputation.
to my shop. It's such a pleasure to see a new face.
Sansa bounces back on his heels, a wide grin plastered on his worn face.
How might I assist you?
Let's see, what do you do here?
Oh, I am a cartographer. I make maps. I'm not half bad at it either. And may the gods forgive my immodesty for saying so. If you need a map of any settled region of the Deadfire, I am your man. And my commission rates are quite generous. It used to be I would take to the sea and do a bit of charting myself, but I haven't the time. Too many maps need making. A shame, too. There's a whole swath of the Deadfire I've yet to see. I'm quite keen to write a book, in fact. Oh, but I won't trouble you about that. Excuse my nattering on, won't you?
Nice dog.
You think so? He is a magnificent beast, isn't he?
Sans' face splits into a broad grin, bright enough to light the room.
He's been a bit low lately. Between you and me, I think he's heartsick for the sea.
I kind of wonder, like, I've always been wondering if you can get him as a pet, and I wonder if he gives you a quest about finding these islands, and I wonder if you do them all, if that's your reward, if he's got some really cool abilities, I don't know. But you said you're writing a book.
I'm putting together an explorer's account of the Deadfire. Or at least the part of it Queen Neketaka's tribe has laid claim to. My book will be the first of its kind. The Explorers Club will go mad for it. Or, well, that was the idea. It's a fiercely dangerous enterprise, in point of fact, and nobody will agree to chart the islands for me. You'd think ship captains would be a bold-hearted bunch. I offered fair recompense.
Sansa folds his arms, sighing.
I'm not exactly the most powerful fighter, or I do it all myself. Still, wouldn't it be wonderful? An explorer's guide to the Deadfire. Someday.
If it pays, I'll take the job.
Do you mean it? This is... Wow! I can't thank you enough. It's a lot of ground, I mean water to cover, and some of these islands are in very dangerous waters.
Despite his words, the gleeful expression on Sansa's face has not faded.
Don't worry, I planned it all out. We'll get your feet wet first. With a little experience under your belt, I'm sure you'll get a taste for it. Nothing will stop us. I mean, you. The idea is to explore all the islands that haven't been charted yet, or even named. That falls to you, amico. You can't tell me you've never wanted to name your own island. I thought we could start with the waters around the company outpost at Port Magi. There are 2 islands in the region, and nobody's taken much notice of them yet. Once you're back, I'll start filling in my map and adding your findings to the book. Oh, this will be wonderful.
So this just gives you bonus reason to, explore more. That's basically what it is.
Welcome back, welcome back. It is a pleasure to see you once again. Tell me, how is the sailing? Smooth? Nothing to delay your expedition, I hope. How might I assist you?
Show me what you have to say.
Certainly, certainly. It would be my pleasure. Of course, it's mostly books and knickknacks. Maps I do on commission, you see.
Okay, so grimoires are really interesting in this game in that, you kind of want to switch them around. So it's always a good idea to look at grimoires just to see if it's something that has abilities that could be really useful. Merciless Gaze is one that I do want to pick up for him. The rest of these are not really great. He already has Jolting Touch with the one he has. Fleet Feet's not really that great. Feated Curse is okay. And some of these are not really that bad, but nothing I'm really looking for, so... This is what you should buy, though, the Spyglass. It's the only place you can get it, as far as I know, in the game. It's really helpful in a lot of scripted events. It's 5,000, which seems like a lot, especially starting out when you only have this, but it will definitely come in handy, and you're going to be making tons of money as you go through this game, so it's not really that big of a loss. Do I have anything I can sell just really quickly? A couple little things just to kind of make it a little cheaper. I know I got some books that I could probably sell. Okay. And so a little less than 5,000, but oh well. Might be a little broke for a while, but that's okay. So, and that pretty much just sits in your main... Oh, it went to Seraphine's inventory. Okay, I'm just going to keep it in mind just in case. I'm not sure if it works from your stash or if you have to have it in yours. I don't know. I'm just going to put it there so that way I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so we'll head over. We'll see if we can figure out the deal with this gang, deal with them, and then we will head up to the palace. There are some other areas that we can search on the way, but I think I'll just go ahead and go to the palace first. That way we can pick up the other party members. By then we should have everybody leveled up, and when I pick up the new party members, they'll need to be leveled up so that I can take all of that, take care of all of that together. Let's see, let's just continue.
Where is my postinago of a brother? You there?
Wait.
Have you seen Lauro Badato?
Let's go ahead and see what she wants.
Medico, Where is that spoiled brat?
A woman in fine clothes clutches a ledger in both hands. She searches the faces of passers-by, settling on yours with an uncertain frown. What seems to be the problem?
Laro is past due for a company meeting. Mother wants me to drag the elusive louse back by his ear.
She tucks the book under her arm.
Must be nice to be a layabout. Uncle Engbert would have tanned my hide.
Fuck. I am angry and jealous in equal measure. You'd think this district was a maze, the way he manages to hide.
She glances over her shoulder and sighs, then looks back at you with a sudden recognition.
The spirit magnet? Sientere, that I did not recognize you. If you desire to get in the graces of the Valiant Trading Company, we can help each other.
What sort of clout do you have with the trading company?
Mother's bank commands the wealth of the Deadfire campaign.
Nera absolutely pats the cover of her ledger.
Could I persuade you to watch out for Laro? I'd pay generously for your trouble.
Study her hands. Sure, we'll take a look at them. Nera has been digging her nails into her ledger, leaving crescent moon-shaped impressions in the binding. She notices your interest and holds the book protectively close.
I'm concerned because Laro tends to feud with Orso, one of the local Valera rats.
I take it your mother is someone important. You aren't exactly tearing the district apart looking for him. What did you mean by Valera rat? You aren't exactly tearing the district apart looking for him.
Così. I only manage the family business.
She takes up her ledger with both hands, holding it like a shield.
Better to ask why Laro isn't sprinting back to look after his birthright.
If I happen across Laro, I'll let you know.
Would you? I'll be waiting at the estate in case he happens to return.
Nera thumbs over her shoulder.
Laro and his miscreant friends carouse at the tavern, the falls above the Adra Mill, and the southwestern bridge. If you see him, tell Laro to get his good-for-nothing ass back home.
Well, we do have this thing with chasing a rogue god to the ends of Aora, but I guess if it's on the way.
Okay. Let's head over this way. It's probably a...
Well met, stranger. If you feel like investing in protection, I'd be willing to trade iron for copper. Lots to see. Take it.
Heaven's Cacophony. 2 intellect, 1 religion, shouts of hosts. Launches a cone attack that can knock back and stun targets. Not bad. Avenging Storm. The druid becomes a conduit for the power of a storm. Any target they strike with a weapon, or who strikes them with a weapon, is attacked by a bolt of lightning. What? Wow. That's kind of cool. That's 10,000 though. Sheesh. Horns of the Bleak Mother. +1 perception, resistance to resolve afflictions. Nice. Its claws and horns. 10% accuracy against beasts. Or not 10% accuracy. It's got perception and increases accuracy. That's a possibility. +1 might, 50% chance to perform knockdown against target with critical hits in melee. That could be nice later on for my guy, especially if I getting criticals regularly. Grants reeling blow. 1 attack that sends targets flying backward with a chance to stun. 7,000 though, so I'm not getting that. Let's see, anything good? Just some fine stuff. I'm tempted to buy these. 800. Yeah, let's do that. So that way. And then I will give this to her. This is a regular hood, so I'll just throw it in the stash.
Adair, look what the Watcher's given me. It's pretty as a picture, ain't it?
Oh. There is a wolf. Wolf companion. I'm betting you this is the group.
So she asked him what he calls that trick, and he says, the consueli.
Alright. I'm going to have Adair go up and talk. That way he's up.
You the one causing trouble in Cotter's neighborhood.
The wolf at this man's side raises her hackles and growls. He shushes and pats her behind the ears, all the while keeping his focus trained on you.
I thought Remaro's pup kept better company.
Kota glances at Seraphim.
Ahoy, friend. So you still be doing that old referring yourself by name thing? Would have thought it'd have cost you enough lays by now to be dropping that affectation.
Huh, so Seraphim actually knows the guy. It's interesting.
Cotter has not missed the sound of your voice, Seraphim. Your smoke and mirror ghosts do not impress Kaletzia, and they do not scare Cotter.
A line of drool drips down between the wolf's bared teeth.
Sorry, Valian names all sound the same to me. Which one is the pretty wolf?
Of course Adair's interested in the wolf.
You'll know soon enough.
Kota bares his teeth, too, at Adair. Atticus finds them amusing, which is enough. Pull spirits from the in-between, smoke and mirrors, I think not. Any chance you're the one shaking down Zamar? Yeah, any chance you're the one shaking down Zamar?
Zamar has money problems. Cotter has solutions. The little man doesn't know how to count his coins. Cotter heard a newcomer was talking with Zamar.
His free hand moves towards the weapon slung on his belt.
Wrong play, Cotter. Let's be keeping this as friendly fucking chats. Lest the captain be calling your raise.
His furred hands rest near his own weapons.
Look, Selezia. Your supper comes with blue fur.
He nudges the wolf, eliciting a deep growl.
Tell the shipwright to accept Cotter's deal before he suffers another setback.
Now see, this is annoying because this looks like the perfect thing that I'd want to say, except for it does give me a moderate negative with the Principe, which is the group that I was looking to, you know, possibly join up with, so I definitely don't want to start off with that. Let's see. Let's just, since Seraphim knows the guy, let's see what he has to say.
You've got to ask, Cap. A Principe deal be the all-round winner?
The Orland shrugs, running a furred hand over his braided beard.
Zamar gets himself steady work, the pirates know they're looked after, and you and me get to shove off from this mess with a Principe favour at our hold. Charting another course risks running us aground of everyone's bad side.
Better that you listen to the hairy piglet.
Kota nods, glancing from Seraphim to you.
Kota will see that his casita knows your name. There's also a coin to spare.
Who's casita? A Valian term for captain. Okay.
And Kota will get you the Principe discount on Zamar's goods. Deal?
Fine. Sounds fair.
Gelarde, here's an advance. Go tell Zamar the good news. Kota will handle the rest.
Okay. So there is that. Oh, that one's not stupid. I really wanted to kill that guy. Okay. So what we're gonna do is let's find. I think this is gonna be the closest exit. Oh, wait, hold on. That's why I got the whole group not selected. We're just gonna go ahead and head up to get the other party members, and then we can come back and start completing quests and stuff like that. Looking around a little bit more. See if we can find this one girl's brother. See what he's up to. What kind of trouble he's gotten himself into.
Have you heard about the commotion at the palace?
Of course. Something about Luminous Adra.
A giant made of Luminous Adra.
Okay, so Pariki's Overlook would be the next place, but rather than go there... Oh, we can't get there. That's right, you have to go through. I hate how they do this. Like, in order to unlock that area, you have to go through this one. Always annoying, but it's fine. We'll take a quick look around here, see what there is to find. I know we have the fragments from one of these swords from the first game that we can get reforged here. Fortunately, in this playthrough, I did not get the fragments of the other sword that you can get reforged in this game from the first one. But what's also really cool is if you have the fragments from both swords from the first one, you can actually get them forged together into a really cool great sword, which I will probably try to do on another playthrough because it's supposed to be really like probably one of the best weapons in the game. And you can get it really early on. The only thing is you have to pay a lot of money for it. So you just need a lot of cash in order to be able to get it quickly. Okay, so I don't want to pick up any. I'll come back to these to do the quest later, but I'm just going to go and grab these plants while I'm here. So we'll go ahead and turn on a little bit faster.
You have no right to interfere in Rauatai's business.
Well, I might just go ahead and grab.
I don't give two pyres for your tribal pride, and I wager that Arkemir cares even less.
The Amau woman clutches her fist at her sides. Her severe features are caught in an unshakable grimace.
If this is what passes for Rauatai in diplomacy, Rauza has bigger problems.
The more calm and composed Tawana smiles, turning when she notices you.
If you've come to see Arkemir, you're too late. He left the estate on wizard business.
What did you want with Arkemir?
The wizard got his hands on a Huana tablet, the Harapo epic. I came to reclaim it for Rauatai. In the middle of my negotiations, this little pest showed up with a claim on it.
She gestures to Natihi.
The Harapo epic belongs to the Huana. The Queen sent me to remind you both.
I get a positive, so I'll just do this one. It's always good to build up whatever kind reputation you can with a group. Even if you don't plan on signing that one, it can help you in other quests later on. So, if you got
Akira, few outsiders can appreciate what such an artifact could mean to our people.
Posturing about cultural value is worthless. We both want the tablet for the same reason.
So what's your plan?
I might as well adjourn to the palace in Serpent's Crown and give Arkemir time to think.
What a load of... You mean to get your hands on that tablet with or without Arkemir? You island rats can barely write your own names, much less a distinguished epic.
Natihi blinks at her in shock and takes a moment to smooth down the creases in her uniform.
Scamper back to the Brass Citadel and spin your own plots. I will happily do the same on my side of the island.
Let's see, so here I guess you're basically picking which one you want to side with. Just from how they've been talking, I feel like my guy's going to side more with her, because the other one's been a little bit of a jerk, so.
For me, I could use a reprieve.
Natihi watches Tamara skulk away, turning back to you only when she's gone, and lets out a heavy sigh.
These are frustrating times we live in. What say?
Natihi opens her palms, inviting you to speak. Any ideas on retrieving the Harapo epic?
There's always Facina, Arkemir's apprentice. No love lost there if whispers are true.
Natihi shrugs.
Arkemir seems to enrage those of his inner circle, not excluding the imps.
Okay. Ooh.
Hey.
Let's see, what does Jules do? +1 perception, always nice. And party members are more effective with healing spells and potions, which my guy can't use, so yeah, not gonna use that one.
Of course.
The sea is true home, not smelly mountain.
Let's see what this guy's doing.
What you want?
The imp recoils from you with a sharp hiss. Oh, how can I get inside Arkemir's manor?
Sprout wings like imp, huh? Fly up the balcony.
The imp bats its wings, but extra hard for emphasis before pointing at the higher level of the neighboring manor.
The doors are for ground meat.
What are you doing out here?
Arkemir doesn't let worthless idiot outside after worthless idiot sprayed dung on stupid tablet. But Arkemir not home.
A mischievous grin splits the imp's bony features.
So worthless idiot watches the ships come in. Looks at all the tasty gulls.
It sighs down at the vista of ocean and docks. You want to set sail and eat gulls? You're welcome aboard the Defiant. Sure, I'll always take more crew. The imp takes in your words, its eyes widening to the size of moist saucers. A flap of its wings carries it closer to whisper in your ear.
How often you beat your crew, huh?
It doesn't whisper at all, and the question sends a ringing through your ears. Only when they're noisy.
Worthless idiot knows when to shut worthless mouth. I join crew? I join crew!
The imp flutters in an excited little circle. It points down at the distant shape of Queen's Berth and salivates at the sight of gulls landing on the rigging of the Defiant. I wonder if I'll have less bird poop on my boat now.
Did the Queen summon everyone to the palace?
Akira, I've never seen Aruihi run so fast.
Do you think the Audra Colossus would come here next?
Pray to Cahopa, it does not.
Let's head out. Go ahead and head to the palace, pick up our new party members, get the show on the road. So we'll be picking up our new tank, which is a familiar face actually from the first game, if any of you guys played that. And then we will be picking up our we're going to use as our stealthy kind of character, and a lot of our range to DPS. And I'll probably be ditching, Seraphin's definitely going to go. Even though I'm going to side with the Principe, so I don't know, I might bring him back in. Especially since I found out it seemed like when you cast spells with him, like you see what the secondary effect is, like with his wild kind of cipher class, which
you
is
say
nice.
your lamp nets you souls, I? Mind if I be asking how?
Faith can do many a thing, Seraphin. Add a little copper and Audra, and a normal lantern can work miracles.
Aye, don't those be the tools of the Animancer's art?
Maybe. But I'm no animancer, that's for sure. I ain't out to play God. Only serve mine.
So yeah, so I might end up bringing Seraphin back into the party just because, you know, he can be kind of handy, and even with dealing with the pirates, he'll probably help me out like he did in that one, and making the right choices and stuff like that. So I may bring him back in, but the only problem is I have no idea who I would replace. Maybe Eothas, considering he's kind of the caster, so you'd be replacing him. Oh, that's Nativi. That's the one I talked to already. Okay,
Hold a moment. You may visit the palace and its shrine, but be warned. The Queen meets with trading company Vipers. Take care you are not bitten.
I'll keep that in mind.
They are in the throne room through the door behind me. If you should lose your way, follow the shouting.
The guard gestures to the door, dismissing you. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I may be bringing Seraphin back, but I don't know. Yeah, because of the two characters I'm going to be picking up, I'm definitely going to want both of them party, because yeah, one's going to be a really good tank and one's going to be really great at dealing some range DPS, so if I was going to keep Seraphin around, I'd have to get rid of somebody in my party who I have in it right now, which would be either Eothas or Choti, and probably going to want to keep... Oh no, actually Choti's getting replaced as well. We do have one more party member we got to pick up, that's right. And that's good. Either way, it's going to be my healer, so I definitely want to get rid of them. So it'd have to be Eothas.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
The Valiant dignitary aims a withering look across the aisle. A middle-aged woman with a square jaw and tar-stained teeth meets it.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
She pulls a slender pipe from her pocket, but at a look from the Queen's attendants, she puts it away.
You speak as if I could command the tides. While you are casting your blame in a wide net, why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
A sizable Maua standing by the throne takes a bold step forward and flares his nostrils at the assembled dignitaries. A hush falls over the room.
I say our guest forgets himself.
He clears his throat and sweeps his gaze from Nero to the rest of the room.
Brother, stand down.
Up to this point, the Queen has studied the proceedings with an even expression. She half rises from her throne as she fixates on the Prince Aruhi. Aruhi? Oh, these guys have really hard pronounced names.
You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us.
As Aruhi lowers his head, the Queen slowly centers her gaze on you and leaves it there.
An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen.
Though her mouth doesn't move, Onikaza's voice comes to you like an insistent memory, nestled among your surface thoughts. So she must be a cipher, I guess? So you can nod, shake your head, shrug, say nothing, stoic as always. You cannot be here. Well, like I said, he's never really been a big fan of ciphers and stuff like that, so that's why he was actually against all the animancy and everything, so he's not going to acknowledge her little mind talking. Say nothing. Her brow furrows and she shakes her head.
This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
And you'll find a lot of the Huana have different names for a lot of the gods, so Tangaloa is basically their version of Barath. The Queen's voice fills with the expansive throne room, leaving you with a hushed silence to fill. Many more questions about Hasongo will soon be answered. Sorry, was Hasongo pleased as a court? I've journeyed from a crippled Port Mage. Come with a warning for the Queen.
How quaint of you to point this out in a room of warmongers and conspirators.
Her mouth spreads in a knowing smile.
You have the ear of the throne. Speak on, then.
Onikaza leans forward in her throne.
I know this one. His parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Birth.
Raising her hand for silence, Onikaza looks to her brother. He approaches, and they exchange a few words, too quietly to hear. She lifts her gaze to you once more.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
She opens her palm and waits. Pormage suffered similar damage when Eothas passed through. It's possible that Eothas only passed to his way to the parts unknown. Forget Hasongo, I seek the giant who crosses through these waters.
Huh. What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawnstar Dreamers.
She looks at Adair the way one would look at an especially rabid but fascinating animal.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
Nero crosses his arms, looking distinctly uncomfortable.
Ganta Nichese. I'm acquainted with the Watcher of Cadnua from my assignments in Defiance Bay and Twin Elms.
So any of you who played the first game will recognize Palagina. She was a party member from the first one. Hence why the symbol.
Diverus? It explains the colorful nature of your reports.
I have seen things with him that are not even told in the most outlandish of sailors' tales.
And I'm supposed to take two Valians at their word?
She gestures between Nero and Palagina.
How came a watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court.
My castling made this personal. I'm here against my will. Anyone still listening is free to help me or stay out of my way. Seeing in the shadow of the giant, I could use some help. Yeah, I'm here against my will. Anyone still listening is free to help me or stay out of my way.
At least you've got gumption. Nothing worse than standing around in the middle of a storm.
She glares briefly at the Queen.
What are you asking of us?
I was told you know where to find Luminous Audra. I can track him through Audra veins. A fleet would be a good start. Let's just go with the Luminous Audra.
Ah, well, by all means. Let me mark every site of value on your map.
Acting on this threat would be reckless until we understand it better.
Onikaza doesn't look away from you as she addresses the other dignitaries.
I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hisongo.
Onikaza spreads her hands, calmly assured of her reasoning.
Set sail to the west of Neketaka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you.
She believes herself.
She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Onikaza's gaze wanders back to you, only briefly.
Only that Hisongo is a Rauatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
She inclines her chin at another woman standing nearby.
Ma'am.
A composed Amawa stands at attention, her furrowed brow cleaving down otherwise warm features. By her feet, a colorful bird preens itself without concern.
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer.
She looks you in the eye and gives you a slow nod.
Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
Maya sighs with resignation and nudges her bird affectionately with her toe.
And shut us out entirely? We have every right to know of any hazards in these waters. Palagina, go with the Watcher. See that the Republics are served in this investigation.
Nero turns to the godlike warrior standing off to the side.
Ah, Your Excellency. Hamed Kong Swalias.
Palagina's golden eyes flash in your direction, but her face betrays no hint of emotion.
That will be enough parading of champions for now. I'm certain that our guest knows how to assemble a crew.
Onikaza raises her brow and scrutinizes the pair. I'll take Maya, always good to have a rifle. Palagina, welcome aboard, your sword is needed. Can I take both? I need all the help I can get. Sure, take both.
Akira, if you can stand the chattering of unlike minds on your ship, that is your prerogative.
Onikaza blinks with amusement as she takes note of the look that Maya and Palagina exchange.
Oh, good thing I'm already accustomed to cramped quarters and temperamental birds.
She winks at Palagina.
We both have our orders. I have no interest in interfering with you as long as you do not interfere with me.
I believe we are finished here. Aruihi?
Aruihi. Okay. Queen Onikaza rises from her throne, and the surrounding guards stand at immediate attention.
Aren't we popular? Take care at Hisongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Eothas blundered in.
Onikaza nods to you as she adjourns.
And take care with your trading company spies.
She glances at Maya and Palagina.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else.
He banishes the foreign dignitaries with a swift and unmistakably disgusted wave. Okay. So we'll get a few new party members.
Let's speak.
So this is Maya. She can either be Ranger, Scout, or Geomancer, which is Ranger and Wizard. This one just seems a little bit crazy to me. I might try it at some point in time, but not really interested. Just as a pure Ranger, she does crazy amounts of damage. It's really, really a nice, just if you just want to do a straight build with her, she works out really well. I have gotten to see a Ranger Rogue at work. I do actually want to make a character of this because it just seems really cool. So yeah, definitely want to try that one out. So like I said, I'm going to have her kind of as my stealthy character and just dealing lots of ranged damage. And she'll probably be starting most combats because with being rogue coming out of stealth, she's going to be doing extra damage. So she's probably going to be kind of drawing bad guys in. So that's where she's going to be really helpful. And of course she does have a animal companion, which actually has some really cool abilities. And then here's Palagina. So she's a paladin, or you can do Crusader, which is paladin fighter, or Herald, paladin chanter. Don't really need another chanter. Don't really want to do that. Paladin can be pretty good, but actually doing them as a solo class, I've heard, is not really that great because the the last 2 levels that you miss out on from multiclassing really don't have anything that great in them. So they actually say paladins are great for multiclassing. And I actually want to do her with fighter, because fighter has a lot of great abilities for tanking. So paladin and fighter can make a crusader makes a really, really good tank. So since that's what she's going to be doing, that's what I'm going to have her do. So let's see. I think I will just keep Seraphim around, at least for a little while, just to see how he does. So I will dismiss Eothas, and I'm going to dismiss Adair, so then I can recruit these 2. Although Adair might have some stuff I want to take from him, equipment-wise, but I think it should be fine for right now. I can always do that later.
While we have the chance.
Okay. So let's just take a quick look at these 2. Well, actually, let's go ahead and... Looks like Maya has something to say.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
Maya folds her arms and clicks her tongue against the roof of her mouth. I sincerely doubt it.
Doubt is healthy. We can work with doubt. You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew?
She chuckles to herself, but there's a note of resignation to it.
My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. You're not the only big thing happening around here. I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice.
She opens her palms and shrugs. I'm seeking Eothas. I want no part in trading company drama.
Then I look forward to seeing how long it takes before you find yourself in someone's back pocket. Oh, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks.
She nods toward the colorful bird of prey hopping around your ankles.
Ishi, come.
Maya taps her arm with 2 fingers and clicks her tongue again. Ishiza simply claws at the ground and investigates some bugs a few graceful hops away. Let's see if I could click your tongue like Maya. Cocking his head, Shiza turns to you with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism.
Takes practice before he'll listen to you properly, but that's a good... Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question.
Maya clears her throat into her fist.
You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made.
Didn't exactly choose this life, but I'm making the best of it.
Life at sea. It does have a way of simplifying things down to the bare elements.
Maya looks like she's ready to say more, but stops herself.
A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it?
Light a fuse leading to the black powder and leap over the railing. Enjoy the ship. Peace out. I'm not exactly the diplomatic kind of person, but I mean, this just maybe seems like what my character would do, so I mean, it certainly wouldn't just kill her. Sure.
Sort it out as equals. Interesting. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. I just wanted to hear yours.
Awfully specific question.
Stranger things have happened at sea. Believe me. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain.
Maya takes your arm and gives it a good pump. Okay, let's be off. Alright, so like I said, let's take a quick look at... so she is definitely built for ranged. Even her armor gives her reload time with a lot of the slower weapons, like an arquebus. So usually best to have her kind of in the back doing that kind of stuff. Did we pick up a new pet? Oh no, that's the one we already saw. So yeah, and then... So she is a ranger. Her thing is a gunhawk. So... Can I look at that? Yes. All firearms have increased range, so she can shoot from really far away. And all our firearms receive a chance to interrupt on hit. So she's got some really nice, cool stuff. Let's see, where's the thing with her pet? That's what I want to see. Okay, Gunhawk. Oh, wait, no, bird companion. So she has a special companion that you can't get as when you create a character, similar to the ranger that you met in the first game. So the ability he can fly, so he doesn't get stuck in any of the stuff where you slog through, which is nice. He can also avoid engagement entirely. So if he's attacking somebody, he can break engagement and not get a bonus attack against him. So he's really nice to be able to move around the battlefield if you need to. So kind of helpful. And then there's Pallegina. So she's an avian godlike. Let's see, she's a paladin. This is her subclass. So she gains Sworn Enemy. Sworn Enemy is upgraded to Wrath of the Five Suns, which is pretty nice. So let's see here, Wrath of the Five Suns. Whenever you mark somebody now, it fires searing projectiles. So this was something that I upgraded her to in the first game. Then they just give it to her, so that's really cool because that was helpful. So she's a fighter and a paladin. I wanted to look at her inventory just to see what she's got. So she's already got some pretty decent armor. Taken improves as wearer loses health. That's pretty nice. Okay, so she can hold on to that. That's pretty good. And she's using a great sword. So probably going to switch that up if I can, as soon as I get something to go one-handed and shield. But for right now, she can just stick with the greatsword. And then I guess she's got a blunderbuss on the off chance she needs to use some ranged, I guess, but we'll probably switch that. We might do like two-handed in one hand, or one set, and then a weapon and shield in the other. I'm actually going to hold off on doing leveling up, because we have one more party member that I want to pick up. And we actually are approaching the hour mark. Surprisingly, we haven't really done that much, and this is the thing, is there's just so much in this place that can take you a while. So rather than do anything else in this area, I'm just going to go ahead and head over to grab the last party member so we can just get that out of the way, so that way next episode we can just do straight kind of running around finding quests, completing quests, and just get that done. And that way I can go ahead and handle everybody's level up and not have to worry about that either. Alright, so we'll head back to Pariki's Overlook. And one of the cool things, I don't know if I explained this in a previous video, once you like visit certain little areas inside of a map location, like certain buildings and stuff like that, whenever you go back to that location, it'll give you a list of all those places. So you can either go straight to the location, or you can pick a place that you want to go. So if you have a specific quest you need to turn into a person, like let's say we need to go back to the palace to turn in one of these quests to like the queen, we could go straight to the palace rather than having to walk through that courtyard and everything like that, which is kind of nice. It's kind of helps you be able to speed things along, even though fast mode does help out a lot, as you can see. So we're gonna head in here to the Water Shapers Guild. So this is the Hawana. Their kind of druids are called Water Shapers, and they're really, their powers are really focused around water and things having to do with water, and they're exceptionally good at it. So we're heading into the kind of the main headquarters for that group. And this is, I believe, another one of the minor factions in the game.
Takehu, you have shirked your duties for the last time, I say.
A guildmaster in fine robes stares down the sizable blue-skinned Amawa before her. Students observe the exchange in a loose circle, exchanging whispers.
Guildmaster, be reasonable.
He tosses his anemone-like hair, which glows faintly as each bulbous strand settles in place.
I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me before Onikaza.
He crosses his arms and raises one eyebrow. The murmurs of the crowd grow in volume.
You went alone. I asked for patience, but as usual, you make a trench out of a tide pool.
She pacifies her tone, suddenly conscious of the onlookers. Say nothing.
My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip through Rakuhu's bowels.
In spite of their obvious age difference, Takehu raises an instructive finger to the guildmaster. She flares her nostrils and takes a deep breath.
I say Ngati weeps at her petulant spectacle of a child.
Deadfire, godlike. Just gonna keep letting them go on.
For a water shaper who treasures his duty to the goddess, you spend too many days cavorting at the brothel.
The guildmaster sidesteps Takehu and takes long strides away from the circle. Sparing another glance at Takehu, the crowd disperses.
Ugh, insufferable.
Takehu sighs and smooths back his hair. He turns his attention to you with a raised brow.
Cozy, madam.
He blinks at Pallegina.
Of all the exotic birds in the Deadfire, I have seen none with plumage as fine as yours.
So both Takehu and Pallegina are godlike. They're two types of godlike that you can't create your character as. So he is a aquatic godlike, I believe it is. She's a avian godlike. He inclines his head and touches his brow. Pallegina follows her. What is this one? Oh, so she's pro-godlike. So she's a big fan of godlike. So yeah, obviously since she's one.
Stop back, Blanca. I did not ask for your buffoonish compliments, nor do I want them.
Then this rooster will give the hen a wide berth.
He turns to you wearing a lopsided grin. Have you got something to tell the crown?
Kara, I sent the prince a missive and heard nothing back.
Takehu crosses his arms and sighs.
He is a busy warrior in a time of peace, I say.
Let's go talk to him together then. Being a watcher tends to open doors.
A watcher? And here I am, used to being the freak of Pariki's overlook.
He rests a hand on his hip and grins.
What does a watcher do?
I commune with spirits of the dead.
Kara, just so.
He strokes his chin, nodding.
I say I am no sailor, and I know even less about death. I am an artist.
He stirs his fingers through the air, drawing together droplets of moisture into an orb of water that floats over his palm.
My peers do not understand. Water shaping to them is like studying calligraphy, to brew ink and sort parchment.
He lets the orb fall to the ground and splashes at his feet. If your abilities can drown our enemies, you can call it whatever you like.
Will we do much fighting, then? Kara, a pity.
Takehu scratches the back of his head.
You are not unknown to me, I say. Whispers of an Adra Colossus reach my ears, and louder whispers of a corpse who follows him.
Takehu raises one of his brows.
What will you do when you catch up to this walking god?
I'll be for the rest of the gods to the sides, offer a few compliments, buy him a drink, see where it goes from there. Eothas needs to answer for his actions.
As do many mortals in the Deadfire. It seems the gods are no different. If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship.
Takehu inclines his head and touches the circular marking on his brow.
Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by association, I say.
He winks. He's obviously very fond of himself.
Always worth suspecting the captain be drawn to the blue and the beautiful. Welcome aboard, lad.
Seraphim bows. Let's be
Lead on. It will be good to put some distance between myself and the guild, even if we find less savory places along the way. A fair warning, Captain. Ingati gifted her favorite son with more than his stunning complexion.
Takehu tosses his hair and sighs contentedly. Good for you. I'm happy you're so special.
I say you will learn. In time.
He winks, his eyes suddenly as dark as beads of polished onyx. Alright, so Takehu can be a druid chanter or a Theurge, which is a druid plus chanter. I really want him to focus a lot on healing, although he is really great for damage dealing as well. So he's going to fill a very similar slot that Choti would have. While chanters do have some healing abilities, it's not the greatest. They're kind of more as like secondary. I almost would rather just have him totally focused on being healing, being a druid, but I don't know. There are some things in chanter that would be helpful. Even though I do already have a chanter in my party, he's not really going to be doing a whole lot that helps out. He's mainly going to be helping himself with it. So I'm tempted to possibly do this, but I think I will just stick with druid for him. Have at least one single class party member, you know. Well, I guess I do have a cipher. Yeah, we're gonna go just with Druid. So let's see. I think she definitely has some equipment that I want to take off.
The
for her,
light
but it's
will
fine.
guide me.
I'll get it some other time. So we will recruit.
Woods, Captain.
Alright, so I'm gonna run up here and just chat with the guildmaster, see if she has any quests or anything to give me, see if there's any loot in here I can take, or if it's all stealing. Looks to be... oh, there's one that I can do. 4 forms of water shaping. Deku's reply. I don't know if it's a quest thing or just random loot. It might just be random junk. Okay, there's a guild ruins, which I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to go in there. That actually comes into effect in a later quest. There she is. That's what I want to talk to.
You have questions for me. Speak up, I say.
Guildmaster Myru folds her arms and nods.
Ikera, my pleasure. Water shaping is a talent bestowed on the Juana by the goddess Ngati.
So Nagati is, like I said, they call the gods different things. So Nagati is Andra, so the goddess of the sea and stuff like that.
Hariki was the first in recent memory to organize the talent into a series of teachable forms. What else would you like to know?
Where do water shapers get their power?
Our art is the yield of the Juana's ancient covenant with the goddess. Our ancestors pledged to protect the luminous Adra, the islands, and the tribes. Ngati gifted us with the strength to keep our promise.
I don't think she has anything to offer quest-wise or anything, so we'll just see if there's any other possible quest givers around here. Maybe we'll head out. Oh, what's this guy? A young Juana holds out his hands as if to catch an incoming missile. He winces in concentration. An orb of water rises and floats midair. Sweat drips down his nose. Takehu clears his throat loudly. He flinches, and in that instant the water loses all shape and splashes on the floor. Crestfallen, he sighs and drops his stance.
Damn it, Takehu, why? I almost had it that time.
Not even close. If you want to achieve the second form, you will need to loosen that posture. Spending a day submerged in the bathhouse always helped me.
He smirks.
Did you need something?
He nods to you and shakes out his arms, readying himself for another try. You seem to be having trouble.
I can feel the connection to Andra just like Myru taught me. But there's something missing. Maybe it's my form.
He frowns to himself. So let's see, that's actually a chanter thing, so that's interesting. Any advice to help your friend with the water shaping? Hum to yourself. Always helps me concentrate.
Humming, huh? Never fancied myself a musical type.
He squints, weighing your words.
Suppose I'll give anything a try.
He nods to you and resumes practice. Any advice to help out your friend here with the water shaping, Takehu?
Remain loose, but not too loose. Confine yourself, but spread out at all times.
He nods, passing to his secret smile.
Like this?
Muro shuffles his feet apart and squeezes his shoulders together, looking to Takehu for a
Perfect. Keep at it, and you'll be teaching me the fourth form in no time.
He claps Waru on the shoulder, upsetting his stance.
Suppose I'll give anything a try.
He nods to you and resumes practice. Okay, it doesn't look like there's anything in here. Oh, I guess looks like Takehu has something he has to say, and we'll go ahead and take a look at him as well. See what he actually has some nice stuff with the type of godlike it is. One of his coolest abilities, he can actually like none of his certain types of stuff causes. Well, here I'll just show you. It's a lot easier to explain. So let's see, marine godlike. So Wavewalker. Marine godlike are immune to slog zones and water attacks. Periodically, any fire effects on them will also be washed away. And there's something else with him. Blast. No, Wavewalker. Spirit Shift Shark. Water Shaper. There it is. This is his subclass for a druid. So they gains Andra Whip, Druid spell, so this is an extra spell. They learn select Water Shaper spells at new power levels. Frost and Water spells cast this way are FO, so basically foe only. So whenever he casts any spell that has the word Water or Frost in its keywords, it does not cause any damage to party members, which is awesome, because there are a lot of really cool spells that you can't really use because you're too worried about hitting your own people. The only thing is he does not get access to any fire or creature druid spells, which is not a huge loss. But yeah, he has Andra's Whip, which is use water shaping to form a whip-like entity that is capable of striking foes. So yeah, see keywords water. I guess it's a weapon. Interesting. Okay, and then what does he have? So he starts out actually with a pretty nice rod. Has some pretty cool abilities in it, especially when you upgrade it. It has some pretty cool stuff. Okay, so anywho. So I think we'll go ahead and end the video there. We'll start off next time. I'll go ahead and level all these guys up, and then next time we can go ahead and get started. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk to him really fast. As you turn to Kehu, a shadow passes over your vision. You feel a tug from somewhere deep within his soul. A faint ripple creases the air between you two like a forest of ethereal kelp. Surrender this sensation. Kehu's soul is vibrant and energetic, almost too lively to occupy its mortal shell. There is a bright thread of energy that trails away from him. You instinctively follow it. You stand in a grand hall, underwater and cloaked in oppressive shadows. Pillars of coral and bone reach up to support a ceiling that must be hundreds of fathoms away. Chandeliers lit with bioluminescent globes dangle from long ropes swaying in languid, tentacular motions. At the farthest end of the hall, it sits Andra, which is the goddess of the sea. I don't think we really met her yet. Have we? Goddess of Oceans, Forgotten Things? Yes, we did. As tall as a castle keep and leaning forward in her throne, she has adopted the head of an anglerfish and regards you with its globular stare. Her sickle-shaped jaw opens and closes in a rictus of conflicted emotions.
A life without friction or challenge has left the boy in need of guidance.
The voice of Andra pounds at your mind with a relentless force.
He thinks himself frail, but my heart beats in his chest. He is stronger than either of you could know.
She claps her hands and the vision shatters, flooding the hall with a deluge of awareness as you return to your senses. Regarding you with a warm smile, Kehu at first seems oblivious to your momentary detachment, then his brow furrows with concern.
Captain, what say? You look a little blue about the gills.
Let's be off. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so what does she have? Vigilant warrior, resistance to intelligent afflictions, resistance to perception afflictions.
Good.
Alright, well, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I'll work on some leveling these guys up and getting everything set up and ready to go, so that way next episode we'll be able to jump right into it and, really get going on a lot of these quests and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the videos. If you do, be sure to give us a like. Also be sure to comment. Let us know kind of what you think, what you want to see, anything like that. And of course, subscribe if you do want to see more. We're really trying to get this channel up and going, so hopefully we will have lots of cool videos with interesting stuff popping up here. So if you want to keep up with that, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, as always, be sure to check us out at the Used Gamers Podcast. Just whenever you go to your different podcast services, just type in the Used Gamers to search for us. Check us out. We go through a lot of different reviews and discussions. We do old games, new games, as much as we can. We talk about a lot of different topics in gaming, so just check those out. It's pretty fun. We enjoy doing it. So, and be sure to let us know what you think. We also do have a Facebook page. You can search for it. Trying to get that up and going as well. So be sure to leave us any comments in any of those places, just to let us know kind of what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, what you're interested in, all that good stuff. But otherwise, hope you guys are enjoying the video. Hope you come back, and I will check you guys out next time.